There he is, rocking the long hair. James Spencer in the house. How are you,
How
bro?
we
Are you there?
doing? Can you
Oh
hear me?
man, I'm doing great. I can hear you. Can everyone hear James? Good day, mate. Says Enzo Rubio.
How
How
we
are you
doing?
doing?
How we doing?
Um, I hope your parents were okay with me cutting off their dinner time with you. I know I invited you,
Nah,
like,
nah.
but that's why I love you, bro, because I know you're always game. So how's it going over
Yeah, no, it's all good. We just finished dinner, but yeah, I'm just sitting at the table now. Everyone's digesting.
Nice, nice. So, you know what, James, let's get right to it. You joined the Japan B League. Congratulations. Major props. Tell us how it all came together. And I'm sure that many of our spectators tonight will have some questions too. But tell us about, how this deal happened. Did you even consider the PBA draft maybe in the process?
Oh man, I mean, I think definitely since I came home, since I've been back from UP, I definitely considered everything. So, I mean, first and foremost was just prioritizing my recovery. Just playing through some injuries at UP in those last couple seasons. I just wanted to take time to get my body right, and I knew that having the leagues out here and back home, I'd be able to just play high level competitive basketball when I was ready to. PBA has always kind of been on the radar, and I wouldn't say that it is like I definitely see myself playing in the PBA one day. It's just a matter of when. But yeah, I definitely have always wanted to make the B League happen. So I'm just happy that I've been able to kind of stitch together a healthy season, and then I've had good representation and good I guess yeah people pushing me at the right time because I guess like the landscape over there, it's a bit weird. It's just kind of, perfect place, like right time, right place sort of thing. Like everything kind of, there's so many moving parts in terms of like what lands you in a situation. So things kind of aligned for me, and I'm happy. Like it's been a long time coming.
Fantastic. I'm thrilled for you as well, James, of course. The chance to play in Japan, the experience alone from practices, living by yourself, and taking care of yourself as a pro, playing with big, big, big pros every day, including like recruits from abroad who will just force you to improve your game because it's to survive, you gotta be the strongest, right? Survival of the fittest, and you gotta match the competition, including your teammates, if you want to run with the best. Let's get to some questions here. And by the way, again, congratulations. I should point that out again. Mika wants to ask James, speaking of your recovery, James had a foot injury while he was playing his final season with UP. How are you? Are you now fully recovered?
Yeah, man. I gave myself ample time. So I just wanted to kind of like make sure everything felt great and I felt myself before I kind of returned to the court and started doing what I love again. So yeah, the foot is good, the body's good. I've just been kind of building and just coming into condition. I still think there's um, room for improvement always with my conditioning. So I'm looking forward to a nice and lengthy sort of preseason when I get there, and yeah, just getting acquainted and getting ready for a long B League season. So
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
we're all good, man.
Now, I believe you're currently signed for a season, right? So you'll probably see if you stay in Japan after this upcoming season, maybe based on how you perform.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's the goal would be for me to kind of just enjoy that first year, completely different environment, living in a new country. Obviously, that like language barrier, just soaking in the culture and just kind of making the most of the opportunity that is there for me. I think that was also a big thing that I was searching for is I didn't want to go to like a situation where I might not, be utilized. I think I've had a bit of that in my career, so I want to be in a situation where, you know, my presence is felt and my presence is utilized. So yeah, I'm just gonna take it game by game, and I know I just want to get better as well. So yeah,
Fantastic. James Spencer joining us, everybody, on this Wednesday evening, Manila time. Also, Wednesday evening, where James is in Australia. Another question here from RC. James, is your in season training routine different from your off season training routine? Is there a big difference between the two? Very interesting question.
in season versus off season, absolutely there's a huge difference. Just in terms of like I guess if you only have a certain amount of energy you can allocate every day, and like depending on what season of life you're in or what season you're in with. If you're either in preseason or you're in season or postseason, you're definitely going to have different phases and you're going to have different focuses at different parts of your life. So I'd say like preseason, off season is like a lot of assessing weaknesses, making like strength gains, like addressing the gaps, and that's on court and off the court in the weight room as well. So you're definitely going to see more volume in terms of like skill acquisition and just time in the weight room. Whereas now, like being in season, I'm probably getting in lifting maybe 2 or 3 times a week, as opposed to off season, I'm in there like 5, 6 times a week. So, your priorities tend to lean towards basketball when you're in season, and it makes sense. You just kind of want to be in the weight room, maintaining and prioritizing recovery, really. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, great. Something we can all do in our daily lives as well. I feel like whether you're an athlete or not, just staying
Yeah.
active, working out consistently, great not only for your physical health, but your mental health as well. And I say that knowing that I ate a bunch of chocolate chip cookies last night and I didn't go to the gym today. Our
Uh,
good opportunity here to explore your upcoming adventure to Japan before I ask some questions about the UAAP. From Ralph, Tito Maroon on Twitter. X now, I guess. What are you looking forward to learning from Japanese basketball culture, and how do you think your experience in the Philippine college basketball scene will influence this new chapter of yours as an athlete?
I think I visited Japan in 2019 with UP as part of our one of our preseason trips, and I guess we got a taste of what it's like in terms of how they just conduct themselves as a country, as a culture, but also on the court I think they're very structured and like top down, like from B1 all the way down through to like their collegiate and high school kind of levels, or like youth leagues. You can see that system is really like it carries out throughout. So I think they just have a really good I think they have really good structured play, and I think it'll be a good carryover for me because I'm used to playing, system-based basketball in Australia. So I'm looking forward to seeing how there's like similarities in the way things are run and operated there. And as for like how my experience in the UAAP sort of fed into that, I would say like first and foremost, like I don't have the opportunity in Japan if I don't play in for UP. So I think it's been huge, and in terms of just creating a sort of presence in Asia for myself, and just what that league offers in terms of exposure and just pure experience. Like if anyone here that's been to a game, you know what it's like. Like that is a professional environment. I know like that's crowds like no other. That's an atmosphere like no other. So I think it's done a lot in terms of preparing me for any professional opportunity, whether it's in Japan or wherever. So
Thank you, James. Very well thought, of course, as always. I want to do a quick interruption here just to announce that apparently the NBA 2K has a new cover. Can you guess who it is, James?
Anthony Edwards.
It's
Ooh,
Tatum and Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson, yes, of
yeah,
course, with the Las
yeah.
Vegas Aces, defending champs, defensive player of the year. Jason Tatum, I guess he did win the NBA championship, so maybe, but man, I would have loved to see Wemby
Man,
there too, but of course.
Put Jalen Brown on there. Like if you're gonna put a Celtic on it, I don't
No,
know.
that's a funny one. I think the reactions itself is going to be hilarious. Now, James, let's get to the UP side of your career because you did win a championship. And by the way, they don't win a championship without your clutch shot making. You didn't have a lot of hair back then yet. I remember that too.
The
Rocking
buzz.
the semical, yeah, the semical. Um, but those
Semical.
big shots, your defense down the stretch, particularly in Dave Ildefonso too, and then you come back, season 85, you make it to the finals. You look like you're about to win, then things change when Xavier gets injured and Ateneo gets hot,
Mm.
and then the Blue Eagles win. And then last season, they make the finals again, season 86, but without you. This time, you had announced months prior that you weren't coming back to the Fighting Maroons. So, what I'm most curious about right now is knowing that the team again came within one game of winning a championship, and maybe you could have been a difference maker in that one extra win. Do you sometimes think what could have been had you come back for that final season with UP?
Oh, I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about it. Like, what if I used my last year? Yeah, I definitely thought about it, but it's just I'm on my own journey now, so it's kind of like I'm grateful things kind of unfolded the way that they have, and UP is in like the program's in good hands. Like they have whatever pick they want with whatever athletes, and they have a good I guess system and structure going. So I know like long term success of the program, it's kind of inevitable. I think you'll see championships in the next 5 to definitely within the next 5 years. Like I reckon there's a few championships in there.
Awesome. As we say hello to Francis Escandor now here on the playback, the Navs Effect on playback now. Thanks to everyone watching. We have James Spencer though. Okay, James, we'll do a quick rapid fire for some of the questions that the viewers have asked. One from Enzo: why is Sydney better than Melbourne? Joke. What are the notable differences in playing hoops in the MPBL versus the UAAP?
NPBL,
NBL.
NBL. Oh yeah, NBL one versus UAAP. I'd say like NBL one, you got bigger, more experienced bodies. It's a slower pace, but it's a more intelligent brand of basketball. Like the reads are, I guess, higher level. Players aren't as rushed. It's not as erratic, but at the same time, it's like there's less energy in those games because there's not as many fans, there's not as many resources or whatever. But I'd say like the ball is taken care of a lot more. Just a lot of high level guys and just big bodies, like big throughout. Like in this, I'm usually one of the smaller guys on the court. So there's a lot of big bodies in Australia, and yeah. So I think that's the biggest thing. UAP is just like pace. It's really fast. It's fast.
Fast, exactly. Yeah. All right, great. Let's get to two more quick questions here. Mika wants to know, James, you did answer this in my last podcast recording with you, but maybe let's see if your answer is still the same. James, why did you decide to sit out your final season with UP in season 86?
I mean, there's a politically correct answer, and then there's a what I mean. I don't know. I didn't feel like I was welcome anymore. Put it that way.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you, Mika, for that question, and thanks to James, of course, for answering. Let's see, for one last question here. Ooh, this is intriguing. Do you want a more analytical question, James, or something a little more intriguing?
Let's go intriguing.
All right. Basket BPH, always coming through with the questions. James, let me apologize, but we're in some PBA draft fever here. Let me ask you this. If you were one of the draftees in this class, where do you think you would land in the draft? In which PBA team would you like to
Ooh,
play for?
ooh. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think I'd be like. I don't think I would be top five. Like, I don't know. It's a really stacked draft this year. There's a lot of. It's a very stacked draft. If you look at last year, I think. I don't want to say that last year's like. I know I got a lot of friends in last year's draft, in both drafts, but I think this year is definitely more stacked, and there's been some like surprise guys like RJ, Dave, all those guys that you would expect to kind of be be exploring options overseas, but they've chosen to come home. I don't know. I like to say from like maybe 5 to 8,
I like
probably. Oh,
that.
and a team I like to play for. I just like to play with the homies. I play with Zave. I like to play with Zave in Northport.
All right, that would be fun. You, Zave, together in Northport. Talented, talented. All right,
As
James,
long
thank
as
you
I'm
so
with
much for
with one of my
joining.
friends.
Go for it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Of course. Ooh, some big Zave news possibly coming up soon. I'm going to keep that in the DL for now. But
Yeah.
if it pushes through, it's going to make people happy. Let's just put it at that. I need to have Zave back here on the show soon enough. Maybe when this news drops, if the news drops, because I'm looking forward to it. I want
Of
to read
course.
out a statement here by Mika James before I let you go because I think this is why we love sports, right? Not a question, James, Mika says, but I just wanted to say thank you. UAP Season 85 is what made me fall in love with basketball. Basketball definitely changed my life. You were definitely one of my biggest inspirations then. Your effort and hustle are things I'll look up to forever. Somehow, you're one of the reasons I wanted to be a sports journalist. That's real, that's raw, that's honest and genuine. Appreciate you, Mika. And that's so true. As we're all sports fans at heart, whether you play, whether you watch, and you remember certain sports moments in your lives that will just suddenly make you happy. And for a lot of UP fans, I'm sure seeing those 3 pointers James hit along with the defense in season 85, massive. Yes, thank you for that note, Batax. I'll read it out in a while. James, thanks for joining me. Regards to your family, and hope to see you soon here in the Philippines.
So, man. Cheers, Naveen. Thanks for having me.